Hey everybody, OCD Mikey, HiFi guy, back at you for another tutorial on the two different camps of sound, okay? And when I talk about this, I'm going to describe, there's really two different things that a person is looking for when they're buying a hi-fi rig, okay? There is, and there's two sounds. Some people like one, and then after they grow up, then they like this other one. I'm busting chops because I'm having fun and I love to do that. I like to say that the first camp are the people that are fresh to listening to music and they haven't been listening for very long. And when you listen for 20, 30 years or something, you become part of the other camp because you realize that it's not just about the shine and the polish and the ear candy of type 1. So we'll call type 1, which we may say, okay, I won't call it immature taste, okay? Because that's maybe a little kind of slapping somebody. We'll say it is somebody who just likes ear candy. Okay, let's be cool. We'll call it ear candy, okay? So we'll say ear candy and we'll say natural music, okay? Ear candy is what the industry teaches you is good sound, okay? And ear candy is something that is very analytical. You will know that you're listening to an ear candy system because you will be very in your analytical mind. You will be very much in your analytical mind analyzing the music, but you're not going to be necessarily analyzing the music. You're going to be analyzing the sonic performance. You're going to be analyzing, how does it do this? How does it do that? How is it handling this? How does it handle that echo? Is it too much glare? Is it too sharp? Is there enough bass? You're going to be very analytical. Your mind is going to be going from thing to thing to thing to thing, analyzing the sound the whole time. You're just going to be analyzing. You're going to be trying to figure it out. Okay, and trying to assess it because ultimately you want to judge that rig, right? And you want to judge what you're hearing. So you're going to be in the analytical space. This is the type of sound that is typical hi-fi. We would call it hi-fi sounding. Many of us that have been doing this for a long time call that hi-fi sound. We don't say hi-fi in a good way. We say hi-fi in a pejorative way, meaning it sounds like coined, packaged, marketed hi-fi. Well, what does that sound like? Okay, well, that sounds super clean, ultra clean. In fact, so damn clean that it's sterile. Okay, it is sterile clean. When you get to the very top of that, it is absolutely sterile. What sterile means is it's devoid of life. It is clinical. It is analytical. You are stuck in an analytical standpoint listening to that music and you're just concerned with how it's being presented to you. That's all you're thinking about. The presentation, this is blowing me away. It's got so much dynamic. It's got so much punch. It's so clear. There's zero distortion. I can hear every little gnat's wing beat and saliva coming out of that person's mouth singing. In fact, I can hear so many things that my thoughts are consumed with all the little ear candy things that I can hear. In fact, I keep going from one thing to another. The little stick that I just heard, that little saliva in their mouth. Now, the drumstick hitting the rim. Okay, now that triangle right there, and whatever it is. Okay, all these little things, you're going to be constantly bombarded with all these little things that you hear in the presentation of the music. And they're all going to be very distinct in their own little place, and they're just going to be popping out, pop, 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 like popping out in the space of what you're listening to. And it's complete ear candy. It's complete entertainment. Your ears are entertained. Your brain is tickled with a feather, and you're just like, woohoo! This is hi-fi. This is awesome. I want to buy it. Okay. What you're not thinking through and what you're not understanding at that point is, A, you are not connecting to the music. You are simply enthralled by the sonic presentation. B, it is going to fatigue you, and you are not going to be able to listen for very long, because it is going to be tiresome, because analysis of music is tiresome. When your brain is triggered by every little gumdrop of sound in the sound stage, it becomes tiring. It's too much. It's relentless. I think the new amp is called Relentless from one of those big companies. It might be D'Agostino. Terrific name for it, Relentless, because it's just not gonna leave you alone. It's just gonna beat your ass silly and drive you nuts and be a dominatrix, and you're gonna be crying out in pain, and it's gonna have you in its grip, and it's gonna be relentless on your ass. So that is what the typical hi-fi at the very high end sounds like. I'm telling you, and I'm embellishing this to give you an example so you get my point, right? I can't be vague here. I need to be very specific. And so I'm doing it this way on purpose. But Relentless is perfect name for it. Okay. Now, after a while, when you realize, you know what, now, look, okay, let me point something out. If the purpose of your rig is to astound people with ear candy, okay, and do demo after demo, and your rig consists of, the way you use your rig consists of you bringing people over for a demo, and you sit them down for a 20-minute to half an hour demo, and then everybody goes and has a drink or plays pool or does something else, okay, and it's forgotten about. If that's your purpose, is to blow people away that either that don't know that much about hi-fi, or that are still in the early listening stages of hi-fi, I should say, or other people that just like to listen for very short amounts of time and be blown away by a jack-in-the-box that's spitting blood, then go ahead. Okay, whoa, oh my God, my mind is blown. I've never heard anything do, techno music so punchy and loud and fast and in my face, and all the little glitchy little things that I can hear. I can hear every little piece of glitch in there. If that's what you like, then go for Type A, Wilson speakers, Griffin amps, in some of the Griffin amps. I don't know all of them, but at least the Mephisto is like that. There's going to be a solution, actually I can't say solution because I've only heard about that, but I haven't listened to it in my own, but there'll be, Focal is a speaker like that. MSB DACs, DCS DACs, most every DAC, Mola Mola DAC. These are all going to be like that, just in your face, super dynamic, ultra detailed, and in the end, boring. You will grow tired of that, okay? What's going to happen is you'll buy it, you go, something's not doing it. You're going to buy another piece, you buy another piece, you buy another piece, and then you start trying to balance it by using cables and tweaks and all this stuff. Well, this cable doesn't go with that speaker, and you need to put that. Man, once you are in that arena of trying to balance stuff out and saying this cable doesn't work with that speaker and that amp, you are screwed, because now you are down in the rabbit hole of extreme sounding products that have very strong sound signatures that you need to offset from one another. And you're trying to offset every time you put something new in it, you're trying to offset something else. That is absolutely not what you want to do, because that's going to lock you into the tail chasing. Anytime you have a system that's dependent on the cable and all that shit, when you change one thing, you're going to throw the balance off completely. Now you have to reassess the whole thing and start from scratch, and you're going to be totally dissatisfied. You need to start from, if you like that and you like to keep changing stuff, some people like that. They want buying and selling hi-fi to be part of their life till they die. If that's what you're after, go ahead. Look, I don't have time for that. My viewers, most of my viewers, my clients definitely don't. We like to go to car shows. We like to go fly things. We like to go whatever, shoot guns, go to the art museum, create art, go to live shows, play instruments, sculpt, read books, do a lot of other things, okay? And so what we want to do is get our hi-fi out of the way. We want to check the box. We do it for the music. And this is side B, or the second part, the second camp of music listening, are the people that don't want to be caught up in the gear, okay? We just want to buy the damn gear and forget about the gear and not even talk about the gear, okay? We want to talk about the music. We want to go into a rig and instantly connect with the music with zero analysis triggered response. That is how I judge systems. When I walk in and I'm triggered analytically, it's not my sound. I know immediately this is not my rig. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I know exactly what this type of rig is. I know exactly what it does. I've heard it 100 times before, and I don't like it. I look for the systems that immediately I'm connected with the music. That's what happened at the show when I went to the Voxative room. Prime example. Immediately connected with the music. It didn't matter. Look, do I think Voxative is a good value? No, I think it's really expensive and it's probably maybe overpriced, okay? But if I'm going on the experience of what it felt like, man, it may not be overpriced if connecting with the music is your thing, because I was connected with the music instantaneously, okay? It had tubes. Do I even recommend tube systems? Not very often, okay? If you want tubes, you can have tubes. They do something magical, but they connect you to the music in many systems, okay? Connecting to the music is of utmost importance to me, where it does not trigger any analysis whatsoever. I do not want to think about the gear, period. I want to connect with the music. I want to feel what that artist was putting across when they were motivated enough to write a song about it. Okay? You have to understand, many of these people they write songs. Some people write hits because that's their thing. Okay, and that's a hit. And you can tell a hit song is different than a heartfelt song. A heartfelt song that really is coming from the heart and somebody's telling you a story. They're singing from pain of something or sorrow or something or love, many times. You can feel that. And I want to share in what that artist was putting across. So I want a system that connects me to the music immediately, where I don't think about the gear. I don't want people to come in. I do not want our conversations to be about the gear at all. If you've bought from me, which many people of you have, thank you for your support. I don't talk about the gear, man. When we have conversations, we talk about life. We talk about cool stuff. We talk about everything. The gear is the tool for us to get what we want, which is the music and the connection emotionally. After you've been doing, if you start with because look, if you don't know any better, you'll be attracted to the ear candy, because the ear candy is what's taught is good sound, because it keeps people chasing their tail. So that's what the industry pitches, because it keeps the industry going. The musical stuff gets you out of buying hi-fi. So it's not what the industry pitches, because if they sold you systems like that, you would stop buying. And that's not what they want, okay? That's what I want. I want you guys to stop chasing your tail so that we can do other fun stuff, and I can make a bunch of great friends, and I can have friends all over the globe, and I can visit you guys, and we can go see stuff like the fjords, or just weird places, the underground city in Turkey, like all the cool stuff in the world, right? And then hear live music. Like, I want to go do that stuff. So that's my aim, is to get you guys out of hi-fi. I figure if I do you a solid and I get you off the merry-go-round, there's more than enough people that can buy rigs to keep me successful in my life and give me a ton of friends to all around the globe, and I can have a great time with you guys, because I love to visit with you guys when I'm in your state. And so I want to get you off the hi-fi merry-go-round. So I'm going to sell you something that connects you on an emotional connection to the music, so that you really enjoy the music, man. That's what this is all about. It's not about the freaking gear. It's about the music. Do you buy a camera so you can sit and lick the lens? Or do you buy a camera so you can show the composition of a photo, where you capture real life, and you can look at that photo and feel something from that photo. You can feel that person's emotion. You can feel what's going on. It's like worth 1,000,000 words. You can't explain how much is in one photo when you take that photo. You're not sitting there playing with the lens all the time and clicking all the buttons and staring at the gear and doing that. You know, maybe some people do, they have a gear fetish or something like that. That could be an affliction. But I presume it's a tool and you don't give a shit about it. It's like, that's the tool that gets the job done. It's the same with the HiFi. It's the tool that gets the job done, you know? And then you enjoy the music, and we talk about the music, and I turn you on to some killer stuff, and you turn me on to some killer music that I've never heard before, and we have a great time, and we talk about life, and we smoke cigars, and you guys have some whiskey, and I don't, and whatever, you know? But that's what it's about for me, and it is a thing that is communal for me. Listening to music is very much about bringing people together for me. And it's about being with other people and sharing the enjoyment. Looking at somebody and smiling when you guys are both dancing and I got my shirt off and I'm shaking my boobs and and we're in my basement and it's midnight. No. Oh man. Just playing. For real. It's about like having fun, man. You go and you dance, you do the goofy dance. We're doing the goofy dance at the goose thing. We were doing goose arms, you know, and just shit like that, you know. I mean, it's having fun, man. Having people over here, we listen to music. I got customers dancing around in my room, man, in my listening room, because it's fun, because you're motivated, you want to dance. You're filled with spirit. Okay. And to me, that's what this is about. It's a very much humanistic. This is a human endeavor. It is a human experience. When you are concerned and consumed with the gear, it is dehumanizing. You are not a human at that point. You're in the robotic world of gear fantasy, gear fetish, whatever. That's not my thing. I'm much more into the human element of it and sharing in the human experience and enjoying that. And the only way I can do that is with a rig that does not trigger analytical response. So I create rigs that do not trigger an analytical response. Okay? And so there are two different realms. One is aimed at triggering an analytical response because that's how you draw people in that don't know any better and get them to buy the stuff and keep them chasing their tails because they're always analyzing and they want to put in a new thing and then reanalyze and then put in a new thing and then reanalyze and then put in a fuse and then reanalyze and then put in some cables and reanalyze. And they want to do that over and over. That is, to me, that makes me ill. That is anxiety, and it's human squirrel. Okay? Human squirrel. If you want to be human squirrel, go for it. Okay? I don't. I want to be human snake dance. Okay? I want to be connected with the music. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. I want to share in the love of the music, and I want to connect with the music, and that is type 2, and type 1 is connecting with the gear and analyzing all the time, and type 2 is just sharing recordings and getting all into the music and doing that, okay? So they're two totally different things, and hopefully my videos are helping you guys to decide which you like better. Because there really is no right or wrong. I'm not saying my way is right. I'm saying that's why I do it, and that's why I like it, and that's who I want for my customers. Because we're going to have fun. The other camp is for other sellers. Other sellers sell that kind of stuff. Where people have the gear fetish and they want to keep chasing their tail and talking about the gear and showing off the gear, and it's just about gear. That's not my thing. Okay, I'm music. So we could say type A is gear. Type B is music. So there's the music guys and there's the gear guys. And I remember Mark Levinson telling me a long time ago, you know, Mikey, why we get along so well and why I like you is you're a music guy. You're in it for the music. You're not in it for the gear. You're not a gear guy. And so there is a difference, okay? Mark Levinson is a musician. Look at so many of my customers are band guys that are musicians as well. People that used to play in bands are playing bands. I talk the same language. We talk the same language. The gear guys, there's other people for that. You go find your gear from the gear peddlers. I'm not a gear peddler. I'm a music maker. So those are the two kind of differences, and hopefully you can see the difference between the two. Again, There is no one that's right or wrong. There's just different people that you go to, and there's different brands you buy, depending on which one you are. If you're a music guy, you come to me. If you're not a music guy, you're a gear whore. Sorry. You're a gear fetishist. You go to somebody else. Slipped out. Sorry. Anyways, just wanted to make that clear. Hopefully this helps you guys out. I love you all. Cheers, and see you.